Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a very special episode of the Cynthia Manion Show, an evening of inspiration, healing, growth, and transformation. Tonight, I'm honored to welcome 5 remarkable women who are each changing lives and lifting spirits in their unique ways. Amy Ramson is a human transformation expert and conscious leadership coach, dedicated to helping individuals build lives rooted in love, purpose, and freedom. Jessalynn Taker is the owner and therapist at Egoscue of North Palm Beach, committed to helping people overcome chronic pain and reclaim their active lives through postural alignment and movement. Paula Schroeder is a certified oneness trainer and spiritual response therapy expert, supporting countless clients in releasing limiting beliefs and embracing empowered, conscious living. Karen Marshall, clinical practice manager and spiritual volunteer, shares her journey of self-discovery, awakening, and the dedicated service in the oneness community. Salma Khan Joseph is a mindful facilitator, Reiki master, and homeschooling advocate, guiding communities towards peace, healing, and authentic connection. Tonight's conversation is about embracing clarity, fostering deep connections, and transforming lives from the inside out. Let's dive into this powerful conversation. Welcome, everyone. Woo!
Thank
This is so
you.
exciting. Let's begin briefly with what brought each of you to your paths of transformation and healing. So you can say your name and what you think about it. We'll just open it up. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Uh, Thank you, Cynthia, for that beautiful introduction. I am Jess Taker, and what brought me to the oneness is probably my family, right? Like my husband and I work together, and we've worked together for 17 years. And working with your spouse, you need a work-life balance, right? And you need a balance for yourself. So we were introduced to oneness by actually Paula many years ago, and it kind of was just lingering around us. And then we were ready. We were ready for ourselves to feel what it would be like to have a beautiful state inside and out, and then transform that to our family. So we really, it waited for us, thank God. But we came for it for our personal selves and to have our personal growth. But now it's expanded to our family and our business and life. So
Beautiful. I want to do a shout out to Margaret Jo Weaver, who has joined us. She says, good afternoon from Sedona. And hello, Patricia Gage. Hello. She goes, hello, Cynthia. Hello, ladies. Hello from Canada. And Jake, hello from Melbourne, Australia. We appreciate you all joining us. And now, Paula.
So my name's Paula Schroeder, and I do a healing modality, and I'm a teacher of it. And in one day, I had the synchronicity of 3 people introducing me into the oneness movement. So, one time I'm like, oh, I might pay attention to this. 2, okay, I'll put it on a list. But 3, oh my gosh. And I found myself at a local event that night. And it was crazy. And then it started a journey that's been 18 years in the making, and lots of connections and, a deep introspection into myself and then into my clients. They use it as well, and my friends. And so it's become a way of life.
Beautiful. Thank you, Paula. And Amy, we'll go around like a clock.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Ramson, and I've been in the personal growth and development field for many, many years, like over 20 at least. And what I saw is that while I was a relationship coach and a workshop leader and a Dale Carnegie trainer and a leader for leaders and managers of Fortune 100 companies, teaching them the brain science of getting along and how to communicate and work as a team. Yet there was still more to do. And I saw that there was things that still weren't working. And thank goodness to Jess, because I was at Egoscue taking a session with Jess, and she says, you got to do this work. And what opened up was nothing short from miraculous. I had no idea that there is literally a way to shift our being, shift our listening, shift the way we see life to come from bliss, unperturbed calm, and not need all these tools in our toolbox. We could just be love and joy.
Oh, beautiful, Amy. And Karen.
Hey, so my name's Karen Marshall. And what brought me to oneness? I think it was like most of us, divinely inspired. I literally had just been a seeker my entire life. I had suffered from like depression and addictions in my family and lack of connection and just a bunch of challenges and things. And one day I ended up, a friend invited me to a Field of Awakening event that Sri Preethaji leads in various cities across the country and the world, really. So there was one in Miami, and I went to it, or it was Palm Beach, actually, right? Palm Beach Gardens a couple of years ago, and I had a profound and revolutionary experience within my consciousness. I had a feeling of oneness and love with everybody, and it was sort of like a rediscovering or re-remembering of what and who we all are, right? And the reason I feel for this isolation and disconnection and suffering from anxiety and depression that a lot of us experience, and more so now. And so then obviously, it trickles out to our families and our friends and our circles and our everywhere we be, right? So, and the path is laid out so simply, and it's a journey. So whatever we're seeing from wherever we're at, it just keeps on expanding, and we're beautifully held through Sri Preethaji and Krishnaji and each other. I mean, we were at the FOA, many of us here, and we're still together 3 years later, sharing it in, the teachings, the practices with each other, our friends, our families, and coworkers, and so on and so forth. So such a blessing. That's where I met you, Cynthia, and read your amazing book. So I'm just glad to be a part of this and share this beautiful gift.
So powerful, Karen. Thank you. And Saleema, my darling.
Hi, my name is Saleema, and I began my journey. I didn't realize it when I was 17, and I was in my teens, and I guess someone gave me energy, and it was someone who cared for my well-being. And I didn't realize it, but fast forward after many struggles, as we all have, and witnessing my mom go through depression when I was younger, and she suffered seasonally with that. So I noticed it coming up in my own life as well, like Karen mentioned, and that was a time for me to get involved with some things. I tried a whole bunch of different modalities and coaching, and then afterwards, which really helped, and psychology, a psychologist, had a psychologist. And then after that, I was led to oneness. Someone met me at a barbecue and gave me energy again when I was 35, and I had children and young children, and my relationship wasn't going so well either. And so that was a time, no matter what we tried to do, it just didn't seem to work out. And Then someone came up to me at the barbecue and said, a family friend, she said, do you realize that, thank you for telling me all your problems. I blamed it on my husband. And she said, do you realize that everything that you just told me, you're attracting your problems? And I was at that moment ready to hear that. And before that, I may not have been ready to hear that. It made total sense. And so now I'm here trying to be a better version of myself, help my children through. And incredibly, I met these wonderful people on this call, including you, Cynthia. And so I'm so grateful. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. Enchanting, Saleema. We had a couple more people join here. Kirsten Esmond from Ontario. Thank you for joining. She says hello, everyone. And Grace Cavalieri, what a life-giving program. Thank you, my dear, dear Grace. And Kevin says hi. I'm going to play a 3-minute little video that Margaret Jo Weaver sent to me from the Oneness Global Summit, which is a virtual summit that everyone can join July 18th through the 20th. So this is just 3 minutes. We're not going away. Hold on, because these ladies have so much more wisdom to share. Eric, if you would please put that on, that would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Do you wake up with a feeling of overwhelm or a sense of rush? Are you troubled by bouts of negative apprehensions? That is anxiety. Join us at the free 3-day Oneness Global Virtual Summit, July 18th to 20th. Save the dates. On day 1, which is the 18th of July, you will break off your stress patterns. You will understand and learn ways to free yourself from anxiety. Anxiety cripples your intelligence and makes you indecisive, makes you restless and worried. It steals your sleep and your peace of mind and keeps you trapped in unwanted limitation. No matter how long you have lived in anxiety, whether for 3 months or 30 years, we have a meditation technology that can help you break free of it. Join us to have this experience of freedom and calm. On day 2, which is the 19th of July, we will explore love abundance. Do you feel love is difficult? You are not alone. So many in the world feel it is difficult to love someone with whom you already have an intimate relationship. And there are many more who feel it is super difficult to find someone you can love all your life and someone who will love you all your life. But what if we told you that you can awaken to an extraordinary state of love and also draw into your love an absolutely fulfilling relationship? Join tens of thousands from across every nation of the world in a powerful wisdom and meditation process that will open your heart to a powerful experience of love that can draw the right person into your life or can begin a massive transformation in your current partner relationship. On day 3, which is the 20th of July, we go into wealth abundance. Is wealth creation a very pressured experience for you? Are you burdened by the stress of not making enough or feeling guilt that you are not able to provide enough for others or troubled by the financial mistakes you made? Or are you stuck in overthinking and pressure around wealth? If you thought wealth creation is only about hard work, strategy, and social connections, you are mistaken. There are powerful states of mind that can draw wealth and repel wealth. States that can cripple your intelligence or power you with intuition. On the 20th of July, Shri Pritaji and I will lead you into a powerful experience to unlock the flow of wealth abundance into your life. This day will be a powerful experience of insights, meditations, and oneness blessing or Diksha. Let us together create a powerful field of abundance and oneness globally. No human being deserves to struggle. It is possible for everyone to live a beautiful life. So let us make it happen for everyone we care about.
And his wife, Pritize, is on the side. If you want to prepare for this, she has a book. They have a book, The 4 Sacred Secrets. And I got this when I was in Santa Barbara when I met Pritize for the very first time. And it got signed to me, and it's one of my dearest treasures. I want to thank Margaret Joy Weaver for bringing us joy, having us all our backs all the time with all that she does to support us. And thank you so much for the video, because I think it added a lot so our audience knows more about the oneness movement. So ladies, how does the oneness movement influence the work each of you do? Go ahead, Jess.
I know, are we going around the same way? I was like, I can
Sure,
do
why not? It worked really well.
Okay.
I'll mix it up later.
Okay, so what I do for work is a therapeutic exercise technique, right? To realign the structure and allow the body to work better and more effective and release chronic pain. A lot of clients do come in with their own stuff, right? Their own things that are happening. And even on our side, we don't necessarily touch into it, but we know that there's an emotional side to their pain. There's an emotional side to how their body is holding itself. So when it's the right fit, we can discuss, oneness and how that can support them. But on a therapy side, I have to be that neutral person for someone and be able to sit there and look at their structure and support them and be empathetic, but not embody it into me as a person. So what I noticed over years of doing this therapy is that sometimes we internalize it. I want to take it from you. I want to take your pain so badly, and I want to bring it to my house and throw it in the garbage for you, and I can't, right? Or I'm a mom and I was bringing my own stress to my therapy appointment with my clients. And what I've noticed with the oneness is just helping me release any stress or anxiety that I'm carrying for myself so that I don't bring it into the therapy appointment. Also being an empathetic person and being to my clients, but not absorbing their pain, right? Just being able to be there with them and understand and hear them, because my state is unperturbed and I'm coming in that loving space. And then for them, because I would love to see more and more people in a loving state, in a true loving state, right? Not just joyous because they're out of their body and having so much fun, but just loving their lives again. That it's I can't not tell them about the oneness movement and how it could impact them in so many other ways so that they can be joyous. So I hope I nailed that. I don't know, girls.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You get a little wrapped up, but just generally for me, structurally, I have to be in a good space to help my clients. So this has made me able to be that good space and truly without lie, right? I can say I'm happy and smile, but inside, if I'm not happy, that's, not coming across, but truly be happy when they say, how are you? I'm fabulous. And inside I'm fabulous and I know it. So it's, yeah.
Absolutely. Truth, starting with what you do each and every day, making those wise decisions. Miss Paula, how does the oneness movement influence the work you do?
Well, I'm a practitioner as well as a teacher of spiritual response therapy. It is a technique that works with what's in the subconscious mind. So anything that's unresolved. So if you got hurt in second grade by your playmate in class, and then the teacher told you you were, too loud. And then your whole life you carry this thing that you're too loud. And so basically, this technique helps get to those things and release the stuck energy or the stuck emotions. And that's exactly what Sri Preetaji and Sri Krishnaji help us do within the oneness movement, is you learn to connect with yourself inside. And so both the technique that I work with and the oneness processes have just been a huge gift to me, and then pretty much everybody that I introduce it to as well. And it's a beautiful marrying, in a way, of what we do for our work and the oneness movement, because there's a lot of little offshoots in the oneness path. You can decide which part of the path you're going to go down, which resonates with your heart and your life. And the amazing thing is it works in conjunction with these healing modalities and services that we all provide. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Paula. I'm going to do a shout out to our new visitors we have here of Grace. She says, I hope everyone can see this show and it's circulated broadly. So everyone, please share this out, share this out, share this out, because these women are magnificent and the oneness movement needs to be global. I want to say hi to Brian Boosie. Hi, everyone. Enjoying the show. And Mindy Pamper Johnson from Pasadena, California. Welcome. Thank you for joining the show. We appreciate you. I'm going to mix it up a little bit here. Amy.
Yeah. So this changed everything about me. Everything about how I live my life, everything how I coach my clients. So I am a relationship coach, and I also do leadership training and development. And it, like I said before, it's like I used to teach tools, how to speak effectively, how to live inside of partnership. But this work of this oneness movement actually shifts everything. Instead of actually doing something, like I said before, it's like being, coming from a different point of view. And so what I used to do before oneness is that if I had a problem out there, somehow I brought it inside of me, internalized it, and thought that I would be effective that way in resolving this problem. That is not true. It's very smart to keep the problem outside and not internalize it. The second thing that I've noticed is that when we make decisions, most of the times, a lot of the times, at least a winning formula for me is to take my suffering, take my stress, take my anxiety, and pivot from there and create a new path for myself. And what I saw and discovered and learned inside of this oneness movement is anytime we act, behave, put something in progress from a suffering state, from anxiety, from sadness, from anger, will only create more of that. And literally, I have altered and shifted my life to come from a calm, unperturbed state, a beautiful state, and then choose from there what my next steps are. So when I'm working with clients, it's very important that in order to have a beautiful life, we need a beautiful state, we need beautiful intention, we need beautiful actions. And I walk my walk, I talk my talk, and mostly, Cynthia, I could swear, I could tell you all the curriculum that I have up the wazoo, all the certifications I have. I could go on and on and on. And I'm telling you, this oneness works magic.
And Amy, you left a successful career in finance, personal growth coaching. So that was pretty courageous. What sparked that change?
Honestly, lucky for me, although kind of scary at the time, I was a CPA, a financial analyst, I was investment banker on Wall Street, honestly, on Wall Street. And I saw that, people were unhappy. People weren't collaborating, cooperating as a unified team. And I said, what's going on here? How can, this is not where I belong. I want to make a difference in people's lives. And then I went back to school. I could have a master's in industrial organizational psychology. I could go on and on. I'm telling you, this is magic, oneness.
So you emphasize living in a beautiful state, Amy. So how do we practically cultivate that daily?
Beautiful, beautiful. Please, I urge everybody, sign up for this global summit. It's 3 days, 3 hours each day, and we will see the path on how to create a beautiful state. Shri Krishnaji and Preetaji will walk us through how to relieve stress, literally not come from stress, and give us the meditations and the tools to do that. How to foster and come from love in our relationships, and how to create wealth abundance in all areas, not just financially. So I'd get on this program, and then I'm sure we'll talk also about the breathing room app that people could sign up for, and many, many things that we could do.
But what's one simple yet profound tool that you frequently offer to clients to strengthen their relationships, Amy?
Yeah. So honestly, the key is, Cynthia, is that don't act, don't listen, don't do anything unless we have a beautiful state. And there is something called the serene mind practice. It takes 3 minutes, literally 3 minutes. It's on the Breathing Room app, which is part of Oneness. Before you speak to anyone, listen to anyone, create a new plan, make sure that you have unperturbed calm, you're serene, you're grounded in your essence. Serene mind, 3 minutes. I did the serene mind right before I got on this show.
Perfect.
We all did.
Amy says, thank you to Margaret Joy Weaver. And Margaret says, we are either in a suffering state or a non-suffering state. Awareness is the key. Awareness within versus all the chaos on the outside. Thank you, Margaret Joy Weaver. That is very, very helpful. I'm going to pop over to Jess to mix it up a little bit, because she overcame her own chronic pain through the Egoscue method. Can you share your personal journey, Jess?
Sure. We're back to me. Sorry, girls, I was not ready. Yes. And actually, I did get some support with the same pains through the Oneness movement, which is probably going to blow some minds. Personally, I have 3 children, so I gave birth naturally for all 3 of them. And when I was done with the last birth, I realized that I was having some pelvic floor issues. So long story short, with Egoscue, I was able to get my structure back into balance, but I was really still having some pains in my abdomen that was not being labeled or put into any place with traditional medicine. And when I was actually at a field of awakening, I sat with the thought of, why would I have this pain if there's no structural, misalignment? My pelvic floor is back active. And I actually connected to some other pains that were suffering through my family and generational, and was able to go through the processes and release that during the field of awakenings, right? So, and then was able to feel that healing and that lifting through the Oneness. So it was pretty cool that structurally I was able to help myself, and then knowing I'm structurally sound, but I'm still having issues and then going into, right, that mind, body, spirit, right, connection, and actually releasing that during a field of awakening. So it was pretty powerful for me. And I know that so many other women might have some things going on that, you know, sometimes we're holding for other people. So, yeah.
So, Jess, what are some common misconceptions about pain that you like to clear up for our audience?
For most people, when it comes to where the pain is located, we like to discuss that it might not be the source of the problem, right? You might have a pain radiating somewhere else. And a lot of the times, you know, we'll have pains going down our leg, but it might structurally be from somewhere else. So looking at the body as a whole and going, there is pain and it's an indicator. We should move forward to do something. And then we can look at our bodies and how can I support myself? So to me, we need to start helping ourselves for our structure and look at the body as a whole.
And Jess, how quickly do clients typically experience relief through your method?
With Egoscue, usually you start feeling a difference right away in the sense of how your structure is going to feel. And then for everybody, I wish I had like that silver bullet or that timeline. I don't always know, but I do know. Or we usually see people for a series of visits, and somewhere around that fourth or fifth visit, their bodies start holding better and feeling better. But during that first visit, they start walking different or feeling different, and they know something's moving, something's changing. And a lot of the times the pain or discomfort goes away quicker. I would say somewhere around the fourth or fifth visit is usually the best.
Wow, excellent. Grace says, enlightening and liberating program. So, Cynthia, good questions. Thank you. Thank you. They're amazing women, just amazing. And for oneness, the best. Yes. Thank you for joining. Please share this out. These women have so much knowledge to offer. This is amazing. Miss Paula, what drew you to spiritual response therapy, SRT, initially?
Well, I had some intuitive abilities that came to me at an early age, and it was a little frightening at the onset of it. I knew things before they happened for other people. I literally could hear prayers of other people inside me, and I would talk to them afterwards. And so I went to I first went to traditional, like Purdue University. I was going to be a salesperson or marketing person my whole life. But because of this event, I ended up going to a 2-year clairvoyant program to get in charge of my skills and not be afraid of it. And at that point, I was introduced to spiritual response therapy. And so I studied with the founder of that method, went through several years of grooming and educational things to become a teacher of the method. And so, I've been doing that for many years. And I think the thing that attracted me was I had had a life event where I had a lot of physical pain in my body. And yes, I've been to the Egoscue clinic as well. We're all clients of each other. So,
Good group.
Yeah.
Paula, can you explain how subconscious beliefs create blocks in our lives and how SRT addresses these?
Yeah. So one good practice that is both within SRT and oneness is at the end of the day, you kind of review your day and see if you have kind of closed up and processed everything that happened. So in SRT, they call it the law of mind action. In oneness, it's like a reflection, basically. And so we make sure that we didn't hurt or harm anyone during the day. And if we did, we can send them a little loving energy their way, those types of things. Well, on the SRT perspective, say we've been doing it for 20 years and it's a bad habit and we didn't even know we were hurting people. So because in the subconscious, we don't know what's there. It's like a closet. I had a client once that told me it was like I have a closet of ugly clothes that Paula cleared out and I didn't even know they were there.
What a good analogy.
Yeah. So anyway, anything that's lying dormant like that, it could be handed down through our lineage, or it could also be what are called samskaras, which can be impressions in our consciousness that create limitation, self-punishment, low self-esteem, those types of things.
Yeah. Can you share a powerful transformation you've witnessed through your work, Paula?
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, there's so many. Let me think of. Well, it's so hard because I don't want to divulge anybody's process that I've cleared from this group. They know, and it's hard for me to verbalize sometimes. But for example, one of our other friends that we all know and love, they were trying to conceive a child and they were having difficulty. Well, there was obstacles from their lineage and different energies that were non-supportive that, spirit and their high self let go of, because I could ask for that and hold the space open for them to let anything that was creating an obstacle or challenge go. And so they have now had 2 children. And I actually have 3 couples in that category, working with another one right now. There's other things like families that have relationships where maybe they haven't talked to someone for a very long period of time. And as they let go and see that we're all human, we all have unresolved energies, and get down to the essence of who they really are, they can relate to the other person from that heartfelt place instead of all the unresolved hurts and wounds, because basically every human being has hurts and wounds. We're all common that way.
Yes. Oh, very nice, Paula. And you know something I got when I was in LA with you at the Field of Awakening? I bought this little bag that I use on all my planes. You remember
Yes.
the bag from my Pretty Jay's daughter? Yes.
Yeah, Loca.
I put my little name in there, and this is like the best travel bag because it zips up and you can hold all your baggage that you want and get rid of the stuff that you don't want, and it doesn't hold so much that you're carrying too much baggage around. Miss Karen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like it. I use it on every airplane ride.
That's awesome.
Karen, you've been on a spiritual journey for 30 years. What shifted profoundly at your Field of Awakening retreat?
Shifted profoundly, like everyone said here, everything pretty much. I mean, like you don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
All I knew was, so just everything that I was hearing, like somebody else mentioned, it was the right time in the right space. And I was just sort of going through the motions, but I wasn't really enjoying living, right? It was like, so sort of like on repeat, like Groundhog Day almost, so everything they were saying, and it wasn't necessarily new information, okay? And that's the thing I think Amy was speaking to, if I remember correctly. Some of it's just that the way and whatever the magic and the ability to connect and create this awareness, like within ourselves, you know, this remembrance, this experiences, we're so gently and lovingly held in this field that is created in this event that I experienced. I know I'm not alone. It just, for me, was like a feeling of peace and like relief, that thank goodness there are humans here who are working and helping other people realize our full potential, and that love is real. Like whatever it is, it's not just a concept, it is like, you know, it can't be defined with words and stuff like that. And so that's the experience I had. And so a lot of things were released, I think. And then, you know, you get the enthusiasm, excitement. And then it's like we all talked about, like our daily journey, expanding, discovering more and more, clearing out the closets. And then, you know, we're able to show up and with the awareness of the state, you know, the acknowledging and being more vibrating and living from a beautiful state where we're experiencing life. I'm experiencing life with joy and connection. The people I interact with, or, you know, it's just a constant thing. A smile here on my way is just like a flow, a great flow to life. And where it's a two-way, a giving and receiving of energy, love, you know, connection, compassion, in whatever I'm doing. So like if I'm at work, you know, I'm able to create the space and listen to some of these parents who are in a lot of pain, you know, their children, they're going through some things, and we're kind of like the last house on the block, right? And so, you know, it's such a beautiful gift, and I'm so grateful to have found this community, these teachers, and all of us here and out there at this time and place. So thanks.
Of course, Kirsten says beautiful. And I have to admit that I have known you now 3 or 4 years in the Diksha at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have seen you just illuminate every time. It's just like, it's like I can see the light on you sometimes. I'm just like, wow. So how has the oneness movement impacted your daily life and relationships, Karen?
I mean, it hugely, like I said, like my mom and I had, it's a lot more loving. Like there was a total disconnection. I think as a kid, I've yearned for that. I've always felt like something, and I know a lot of us, like, yes, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, you know, i.e. providing all the things, right? So thankfully, you know, I started out having a roof over my head, food to eat, this and that. But, you know, there was a lot of, I guess, dysfunction and stuff. And it's not to blame, but it's people, we do the best we can from where we are. And so now I find myself, my dad passed suddenly about 10 years ago. And, you know, I'm here with my mother again. And it's a gift, you know, a blessing and a gift to be able to, in this time as she's, you know, getting older, and her husband of 40 years, you know, passed, I'm able to be here with her, and we're able to get that connection, and heal the stuff, you know, from my her mother. And I see it all down the line, because her mother, my sister, my nephew, you know, her brother, my dad's side. So yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. So what's the value of community, like your soul sync circle in personal and spiritual growth as you continue this journey, Karen?
The value of it is priceless. I mean, there's nothing, we do nothing alone. And that's the thing also, that's been a huge shift for me, because I think, you know, and a lot of us, we, you know, everyone has different messages that we make, but I think, you know, for me, it was like on some subconscious level, it's like, I'm not putting myself out there getting hurt. You know, people, you can't depend on people. So going around like I'm doing it on my own. I don't need anybody else. And then that leads to not consciously really, and sometimes consciously knowing that, you know, I think that's how I was operating a lot of times, in a protection mode too, that wasn't very useful or helpful to a point. So, you know, now rediscovering, like I said before, and coming, you know, having this experience or this awareness about community and the blessing that each one of us are for each one of us in our lives. And we, you know, it's just, there's no words that can say that is it. It's all about community and connection.
And we feel that through your heartfelt dictions that you give us occasionally 7:30 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. There is a link for that, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to join that. Saleema, as a mindful facilitator, how do you guide beginners to start a meditation practice?
So there's a practice that we normally do, and you know what it is? You just sit still. It's very easy, but for some, it's very tough. Why? Because there are many thoughts that are coming in to our minds, and that is the most difficult part. But really, it's an ancient practice. It's called Vipassana, where we just sit still for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour, whatever faith you come from. Any of us can do this. So that is a practice that we do. And then after that, we might do like a question, like what were you grateful for today? Or just something very simple, so that we can learn to appreciate the things that we have in our lives.
Saleema, what is your approach to integrating mindfulness within homeschooling communities?
All right. So I teach online. I teach a homeschooling community online, or a set of homeschooling communities online. And I thoroughly enjoy it. And I love working with kids. But I'm able to integrate some of those practices, like being present to them when they're speaking, and not butting in when they're speaking, or judging them as they're speaking. So just being able to be there. And some people really enjoy it. And we get to have fun too. Sometimes we play games online after class, and we take breaks, and I play their favorite music. I have my own children who homeschool as well, and I do the same things with them. And I think they can feel it. I definitely feel it from them. I have learned that while children are younger than us, we are equals, and that's what oneness has taught me, and taught them as well. So they know they're equal to me as well, and I don't exert power over them, and neither my students as well. So I think when children feel that, of course, being firm when we need to, that is okay, because if you're doing it from a beautiful state, you're taking action. And that's, a lot of people believe that we're this, flying over the clouds and looking at the butterflies. Well, not only that, we do experience negative states sometimes. And then just doing the practice, like Amy said, does bring us back to a beautiful space. And from that beautiful space, we can take action. Sometimes we have to be firm. Sometimes we have to deal with challenges that come up. And our focus is phenomenal when we do the meditations and the practices, and just sitting still for 5 minutes can bring that. So yes.
Saleema, could you share a personal story of transformation you've seen through Reiki or mindfulness practices? Yeah.
I've seen people get together, meaning I've seen couples get married. And first, they start out with doubt, their work, everything is going, it's troubling them. They can't find a partner. And then they start doing the practices and the gratitude and connecting with themselves, really. And their higher selves, of course. And by doing so, they're able to attract a lot better for themselves. And then they see the shifts. And then soon a new partner comes in. So I've seen that for 3 people around my space. And it's pretty fun to witness. Yes.
Yeah,
And
I love it.
to be a friend of theirs, to be able to witness that. Yeah.
Thank you. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. So everyone, whoever wants, how has your understanding of oneness evolved through your individual work?
Well, the one thing for me that comes up is, in the different processes that have been offered through oneness, there are people from many countries, many backgrounds of faith or no faith. And it doesn't matter because, and we might not even speak the same language, but the human emotion that runs through humanity is where we're one. That's where we're all connected. And I've noticed also in my healing work that even if someone in our world does something that we consider not right or bad, it's really just unresolved energies that can let go. And when those unresolved energies let go, they come back to their center. And there's that connection that we all feel with, a presence, an energy that's maybe greater than us. And that is what I've been able to experience sitting in the presence of Sri Preetaji and Sri Krishnaji, and also Krishnaji's parents, Sri Amma Bhagwan too. So anyway, that's what I would like to share.
And
It's
we've got Amy.
intergenerational.
Amy, you are also present, powerful, connected, and we can feel it. Thank you, Amy. That's beautiful. And another one of your number one fans, Margaret Joy Weaver. You are all so beautiful and contributing to our world in such powerful and beautiful ways. Thank you so much for being here. So what role does vulnerability play in your personal and professional journey? Anybody?
I could say something, about being vulnerable. And I think it's about creating this space or creating a pause. So for me personally, there's a lot of world events that are occurring around the world, in the United States of America, in my neck of the woods, that would normally in the past before oneness just hook me and throw me into some kind of confrontation or some kind of argument or some kind of, don't you see this is the right thing to do, or why is this happening, or some inequity. And when you're talking about vulnerability, what we started to talk about is how do we live from a beautiful state, is that moment where I stop and pause, like Saleema is saying, like it's not only that I'm sitting still as a practice in my home in the morning with these beautiful women or by myself, it's literally out and about in my life where something could happen that could trigger me into a stressful state, a non-beautiful state, where I pause, I become silent, right? And see my suffering see the cause of my suffering. And then as soon as, what Margaret Joy was saying, bring awareness to that. And that's why this is so magical. It dissolves. So similar to what I was saying, it's like you don't even need tools in your toolbox anymore, or the right way to speak a conversation, or say, you just don't need that, because we're coming from love and joy and compassion already. And that's vulnerability. Being in that moment, trusting that the right move will come next.
Well stated. And Ashley says, really beautiful shares.
Thanks, Ashley.
For the group, why do you believe self-awareness and self-compassion are essential in transforming our lives?
I think that you need self-awareness so that you can really know where you're coming from, right? If you don't look inward to how you are, or how you're acting, or how you are inside, and I can speak for myself of, like, you know, having those births, I thought I knew as much, like I knew what love felt like. But when working through with oneness and having these opportunities or these tools that we are speaking into, I realized there is even more abundance of love. Like, there's a bigger love to feel for others, for my children, for my family, for my clients, you know, that I didn't even know what the love level was. And I didn't know how far it could be. And I wasn't aware of how much more love I could have, and how much more compassionate I could be, or how much more impact my state could be on my children, my family, my friends, right? Like, it was just, yeah, I didn't know until I looked in. And I needed to go to a field of awakening, or I needed to go to the summit that's coming up so that I could be aware of that inner state. And that really, I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, I really did think I was a loving person. And I was like, now I'm just like overflowing with love. So it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
So the oneness state, Eric, if you could run each person's contact information through there as they answer the one intention that each of them has for the remainder of this year, whoever signs up for the oneness virtual meeting, right here, www.theonenessmovement.org, I will send them a book that I wrote, Black Pearl, Love Letter to the Ocean, or Savannah Seas, depending. So the first 3 to each person I will send out, except for US only. I will send you a coupon so you can order on Amazon if you are in Australia, Canada, and the other few places that we've seen, or, you know, anywhere in the universe. Patricia says, create shamatha, calming, abiding, to build concentration, to focus on love. Such beautifully spoken moments this evening.
Nice.
Thank you, Patricia. Beautiful. Calm, abiding. So one intention each of you has for the remainder of the year.
Well, my one intention from this call and other is to make sure that once people do go to the website, theonenessmovement.com, that they know the event we're speaking of in July is called the Oneness Global Summit. So we have a goal of having tens of thousands of people on that call. And we're not quite to 20,000, but it's growing even more and more. So I would just be really grateful for more people to have the opportunity to live free of stress and beautiful states of consciousness. So.
And thank you very much, Margaret Joy Weaver. Need to go. Thank you. We're just going to finish up here, and go ahead.
I just want to say what I always say: love, joy, peace, health, abundance.
And here's Amy, RamsonCoaching.com. Perfect. Karen.
Yep, just continue growing and impacting, nurturing the beautiful state and those around us, holding the light.
Awesome.
And Miss Saleema.
Oh, yes. For me, it's growing more into my abilities. So actually owning them and recognizing them. And so I'm learning more about myself.
Yay.
I'm hoping to, oh, that's so cool, register. Yes, and I'm hoping to grow into those abilities more and more. Thank you.
Perfect. So reach out to your people. Those who have already subscribed to the Cynthia Manion Show will get an email where all of their emails and their Instagrams or whatever they provided me will be provided to you, as long as with notes. Oh, here's Jess's. Jess, go. Excuse me.
Oh, real fast. I am going to probably piggyback Paula, but I love the oneness movement. Really drew me in when they wanted to make 80,000, which might not be the number anymore, but 80,000 enlightened beings who actually live in enlightenment, not just access it and, you know, go to that happy place and come back down, but live and impact our communities in our life. So to me, I always sit with that as something that I want for us as a humanity.
And Eileen Norris, thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Brian. And that was beautiful, ladies. Thank you so much for sharing. Namaste. Beautiful and clear shares. All of you are shining beings. Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you all. We appreciate you. Share this out. Sign up for the onenessmovement.org. Reach out to the person that you related to most to win a book. We already have our first winner, Patricia Gage. Thank you. She is in Canada, but I'll send her a book anyway. I love you all. And she registered. Yay. And yay to all of you. Thank you so, so much, Jess, for being on. Paula, Amy, Karen, Saleema. It was beautiful. I love you all.
Thank you, Cynthia.
So you all stay in the green room. We say goodbye to all of you. Thank you so much for being with us. See you next time on the Cynthia Manion Show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please sign up, register, and catch the YouTube channel and sign up and subscribe. And I can't wait to meet more exciting people and share your story. Thank you and good night.